The Muffin Junkee serves tunes with your tea.
Good morning. You're listening to the Muffin Junkee serves tunes with your tea, podcast 7.
Guittard tapes.
Today I have a very special treat in store for you listeners. This entire podcast will be dedicated to the Guittard tapes by Texas musician Jim Guittard, who's an all-around great guy and a great musician, has a good philosophy about music and on life. And so today we're going to focus on that album of Jim's. And if you haven't done so already, refer back to my podcast 3, where I did a special feature on Jim Guittard. This would be highly beneficial, especially to the new listener. It really goes into depth about Jim's musical career and his various albums. I just wanted to share with you, the listener, that I've always been fascinated by alternative takes and rarities by artists, and the Guittard tapes is like a gold mine in that respect. And what makes today's podcast even cooler is that Jim Guittard himself has agreed to talk today here on the Muffin Junkee about the Guittard tapes. So grab yourself a tea or a coffee if you prefer, and something breakfasty to snack upon. And let's hear now from Jim Guittard about the Guittard tapes.
This is Jim Guittard. The concept for the Guittard tapes came over 10 years after many of the songs were recorded. Some of the songs were actual early demos for songs for my California Days album. Originally, the Guittard Tapes album was released in June 2012 and contained only 16 songs. Since then, I have uncovered many more songs that I consider part of the Guittard Tapes period of 1993 to 2003. Cassette tapes that made up the Guittard Tapes were lost for 10 years. In 2006, I had put all my belongings in several storage places in preparation to go to Bulgaria for the Peace Corps. In 2008, I returned to the States and was flopping on couches, various family members, and I could not locate the tapes. Wasn't sure where they were. I had my things in 4 different locations. In the spring of 2012, I was ecstatic when my dad called me to say that he had some of my stuff in his storage unit which he needed to downsize. My wife and I went to Dallas, and sure enough, there were the Guittard tapes in one of my storage boxes. It was in 1993 that my songwriting and recording began on the early Tascam 4-track machine I acquired. Instead of playing video games like most kids do today and zonking out on pizza, I began recording and being creative. During my college days at Western State College of Colorado, that's when I started recording a lot of cover songs. I consider these as part of the Guittard tapes as well, and that was starting at 1992. But I've chosen to release them separately and unofficially because they are cover songs. In Gunnison, I began recording Tom Petty, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, The Doors, and Nirvana. The Guittard tapes are a look at my early writing. One of the earliest songs I wrote is called But Not Right Now. It was about living in the college dorm and having to put up with rude behavior of potluck roommates. There are also some songs that I did with friends of mine where a guy named Clayton Coates, who is a pastor now, did the singing. Hey, listen, Clayton Blues, and Gotta Get Out of This Place. Don't confuse with Gotta Get Out of Here. The songs were recorded in Dallas, Wichita Falls, and Huntsville, Texas, Gunnison, Colorado, Hollywood, California. Looking back on it, I wanted to call it the Guittard Tapes because it is a nod at the infamous Nixon tapes. I was born during the Nixon administration and believed that Nixon was a gadget guy. He liked to document everything in his life, and it turned out that the tapes became his downfall, but in my case, the tapes to me are my upswing. I believe the Guittard tapes represent the initial seed of my dream. It even began before 1993 with my dad's dictation machine, and in 2013 the music holds up in a lo-fi honest way. Nixon would be proud. I still hope to release more Guittard tapes. The time period is significant in that the tragedy of the 9/11 occurred during that period. It was so innocent and optimistic before 9/11, and after became more cynical, pessimistic. However, the tapes are a slice of time, and the music is available for everyone to listen and download. The process of extracting the music from the tapes to MP3 format was quite complicated. Here's a train going by. I'll next discuss the transferring process.
The guitar tapes.
Just to see how much you're going to be missing. You don't run next to the kick around anymore.
The transferring process. What I had to do was record each track separately from the old tapes on the old 4-track machine to my new digital 4-track machine by lining in a guitar cord from the old 4-track to the new one. Each track was done one at a time. The tricky part is the starting point for the individual tracks in a song may not always line up to the other tracks of the song. Also, the second track on the cassette 4-track machine didn't sound. It was malfunctioning. So I had to flip the tape over, and then the second track would be heard but backwards in the 3rd track spot. After transferring all the tracks of a song to the digital, another challenge is that the speed of the old 4-track is at a different speed than the digital. So basically what you hear on the digital sounds like chipmunks. To fix this, I had to dump the tracks from the digital 4-track to my laptop, which has Adobe Audition 3. There I was able to fix the second track. I would then reverse it back to how it should be, and then I had to slow down the digital track so it would sound normal speed. Some of the tracks were still a bit out of rhythm because I was doing it mainly by ear when mixing it on the laptop. Some of the songs, however, had a count off for a guide, but many of the songs did not. Many times the count off sound bled into the other tracks, and that helped me to make sure everything was lined up as good as possible. It was quite a process. I even did some math to figure out how much time to cut. I looked at for a certain lyric I sang in the song and marked the timing notation of the editing software and lined things up with that number. It was not exact, but that's what I did. I'm sure there would be more exact ways.
Now that Jim has explained to you, the listeners, about the concept behind the Guittard tapes and the labor of love that was the complex tape transfer process, I thought that I would play some songs from the Guittard tapes and then have Jim talk about what each song is about, and then read the lyrics for you. So the very first song is Gotta Get Out of Here from the Guittard tapes.
Waiting around this hard old town, gotta get out of here. The fixing the bumps, I'll being dumb. Gotta get out of here. Hearing the sound, in the mouth. Gotta get out of here. Singing Elvis, walk on by. Gotta get out of here. I saw a girl walk on by. I think I'll stay for a while. Gotta get out of here.
Gotta Get Out of Here. In 2001, I wrote the lyrics for this while actually sitting in the lobby of the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. The hotel is mainly known for being the place where the first Academy Awards took place in 1929. It was just down the street from where I lived while I was attending the Musicians Institute. At that time, I was getting a bit weary of the Hollywood scene. The music school had turned out to be kind of disappointing, and Hollyweird was taking its toll on me. I wanted to move to a different location because of a home invasion robbery and because it seemed that freaks and tourists were everywhere along Hollywood Boulevard. One time while waiting at Hollywood and Highland, a complete stranger asked me if I wanted some hash. I noticed quickly that there was a guy dressed up like Elvis standing close by and told the drug pusher, pointing to Elvis, that I didn't want any hash, but that Elvis might. The Elvis impersonator quickly told the drug pusher that he didn't feel called to smoke hash. For this song, my writing method was to sit and observe. In the song, I make reference to this Elvis that I had seen around. There was a lounge at the Hollywood Roosevelt named Grill. It was where Gene Clark, the Byrds' tambourine man, last performed in April 1991 before his death about a month later. When I first got to Hollywood, my mother took a photo of me under the Grill sign. I hadn't learned about Gene Clark performing there yet. It was recorded after the move to a new apartment in the Los Feliz area of Los Angeles. On my Tascam 4-track machine, I played 12-string acoustic guitar with and without a capo, drums, and did the singing. Gotta get out of here. Waiting around this hard old town. Gotta get out of here. The freaks and the bums all being dumb. Gotta get out of here. Hearing the sound in the corner lounge. Gotta get out of here. Seeing an Elvis walk on by. Gotta get out of here. Saw a girl walk on by. I think I'll stay for a while.
So the next song by Jim Guittard from the Guittard tapes is called Tired. And there are two versions that I'm going to play on today's podcast. The first is an acoustic, and then we'll hear the psychedelic version by Jim Guittard from the Guittard tapes. And as in the first song, Jim will comment about what the song's about after I play it, and then read the lyrics. All right. So here's Tired.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Tired, acoustic, psychedelic version. The story behind both of the versions were recorded in 2001, about the same time in Los Angeles on my 4-track Tascam machine. That time I was often experimenting with sounds by using my Boss digital delay pedal as a tool to create or inspire me. The psychedelic version of Tired is pretty experimental. I hooked up the pedal to an electric keyboard and got some interesting sounds. I had been turned on to Roland's vintage Space Echo machine in the California scene I was at. I was trying to get that kind of sound with my digital delay pedal. The tune had a kind of weary feel to it. I was just tired of twisting in the wind. The phrase came to me as my brother called me once to get a status update on my goings-on in California after he had returned back to Texas earlier that year. I was digging my heels, firmly trying to prove that I could make it in California. I was waiting for the right thing to happen, but was getting mad that it wasn't happening. The song was also a kind of prayer. For the recording, psychedelic version, acoustic guitar, keyboards, and singing. For the acoustic version, just acoustic guitar and singing. Tired. Tired of being sad. Tired of being mad. I do the right thing, but I can't feel my wings and fly. Tired of being sad. Tired of being mad. I do the right thing, but I can't feel my wings and fly. When will I do what you want? When will I stop having to pretend? I hate feeling bad. I want to feel the way I did as a kid. Tired of feeling bad. Tired of feeling mad. This is Jim Guittard. You're listening to the Muffin Junkee serves tunes with your tea with Jay, where they play psychedelic lo-fi music.
I just wanted to point out now to all the listeners who are listening to this special Guittard Tapes podcast of the Muffin Junkee that there's certainly more songs we're going to play today, but it is in no way the entirety of the songs that make up the Guittard Tapes. It's a 16-track album. I tell you something, it's very worth checking out. I highly recommend going to the site. I'm going to give you some links now where you can do it so you can appreciate the album in its entirety. So Jim has a couple sites where he has up the Guittard Tapes. One of them is at jimguittard@bandcamp.com, the specific link being http://jimguittard.bandcamp.com/album/the-guittard-tapes2. Jim also has a site at Jamendo, the http://jimguittard.jamendo.net, which is his blog there, but the actual link to the Guittard Tapes there is http://www.jamendo.com/en/list/A112956/the-guittard-tapes. So check that out as well at Jamendo. Another thing before we get to some more Guittard tape songs and commentary by Jim Guittard, I wanted to thank the folks at Maveo, www.maveo.com at Music Alley, for the pod-safe music they provided that I'm playing today on my podcast. And of course I want to thank Jim Guittard himself for being a co-host here and for kindly spending hours helping me compile material and graciously giving audio interviews here for today's podcast. June 17th, 1970. So Jim has just provided me with some really cool news for everyone. Jim has unearthed enough rare and unreleased and alternative tracks that he's going to be putting out in the near future a Guittard tapes too. So it keeps getting even sweeter and sweeter. So right now we're going to hear Getting There Is Not So Easy from the Guittard tapes, and then we'll hear Jim talk about Getting There Is Not So Easy, and then Jim reading the lyrics.
Just wanna be right, just wanna be fine. Some will come in time. Getting there is not easy. Getting there is not easy. Just wanna move weight. Just wanna stand straight. Some will give to fly. Getting there is not easy. Getting there is not so easy. Just wanna break through. Just wanna be free. Some will give to mine. Getting there is not so easy. Getting there is not so easy. Just wanna be real. Just wanna have sight. Some will show real bright. Getting there is not so easy. Getting there is not so easy. Just wanna be right, just wanna be fine. Some will come in time. Getting there is not so easy. Getting there is not so easy. Just wanna move weight. Just wanna stand straight. Someone will give to flight. Getting there is not so easy.
Getting There Is Not So Easy. It was recorded January 2002 with the Byrds influence. The song is similar in spirit with Gotta Get Out of Here. It speaks about my love love-hate relationship with Los Angeles and the kind of disillusionment about the current situation I was going through, but the lyrics are still hopeful. I still felt as if I was twisting in the wind and was hoping that I could make it in California financially. I had worked at different places such as a rental car company to make ends meet and was not seeing the fruit of my labor, but I felt I was paying my dues. It was in it for the long run and hoping not for a quick fix. Heavy burden was on my shoulders that I succeed and prove different family members that I could do it. I remember having different dreams at night about being in a fog, clouds, or basically just trying to find my way. It was as if I was Moses trying to go through the desert of Los Angeles. For the recording, I played the acoustic 12-string guitar and sang. Basically just a simple song. Getting there is not so easy. Just want to be right, just want to be fine. Something will come in time. Getting there is not easy. Getting there is not easy. Just want to move weight, just want to stand straight. Something will give to flight. Getting there is not easy. Getting there is not so easy. Just want to break through, just want to be free. Something will give to might. Getting there is not so easy. Getting there is not so easy. Just want to be real, just want to have sight. Something will show real bright. Getting there is not so easy. Getting there is not so easy.
So the next unearthed gem that I'm going to play from the Guittard tapes is called a Jingle, Jangle instrumental. And then Jim will provide a commentary and insight on the creative process and talk some more. Okay, so here's Jingle, Jangle instrumental from the Guittard tapes.
Jingle Jangle instrumental. This one I'm particularly proud of from the Guittard tapes. It was recorded in my Hollywood apartment, 2000. I was heavily listening to the Byrds in that period. The song that I was going for was Here Without You on the Byrds' Mr. Tambourine album. My recording is quite lo-fi, a bit jazzy. I used a phaser pedal to get the psychedelic effect. In the recording, I played the drums, Rickenbacker, acoustic guitar, and bass.
All I can say is wow. Jingle Jangle instrumental was beautiful. I agree with Jim. Very, very cool track, and I'd be proud if I wrote that too. So hats off to Jim on that one. The next track I'm going to play from the Guittard tapes is called Walkie-Talkie Experiment. It's a highly experimental track, of course, and Jim has, again, outdone himself with a real cool, interesting track. So let's hear Walkie-Talkie Experiment.
Signing off.
Walkie-Talkie Experiment. This tune was probably recorded around 2000 in Hollywood. I was into gadgets at the time, having just purchased a couple of walkie-talkies that Roger McGuinn had recommended on his website. Henry McGuinn and I were listening to the Byrds song called 242 Foxtrot, the Learjet song off the 5D album. It contained a lot of gadget sounds. The sound effects inspired us, and in the recording of Walkie-Talkie Experiment, I was trying to emulate the experimentalism I was hearing in the Byrds. Henry and I had talked about using gadgets as part of our music, and so I gave it a shot. For the song, the lyrics were completely improvised. I set up a microphone in front of one of the walkie-talkies, and then I hit the record button on the 4-track machine. The bass line was me trying to do a lively Beachwood Sparks thing. During those days, I tried not to miss any of the Beachwood Sparks shows if they were playing in Los Angeles. For the recording, I played the 12-string Rickenbacker, bass guitar, drums, and sang or talked.
Walkie-Talkie Experiment. Walking down the street, and it's very cool. Recording a song right now, so if anybody hears me out there, it's very strange. Second verse. Just walking around the street, you know. I got my Rickenbackers here, my Pearl drums, and my Fender bass. Must be the weirdest song you've ever heard. Verse 3, I see my Hard Rock Cafe Hollywood hat. Pretty cool. Verse 4, I think, yep, I got my performance video over there, Mick Jagger. My tablet's over there also. Verse 5, and my Jesus candle and my Rolling Stone magazine. I'm really not that crazy. Verse 6, and I'm dancing around this whole time, in my Hollywood apartment. That's about it, I think. Later. Very weird song, but it's cool, See ya. Till next time, signing off.
Before I play the final 2 songs that I'm going to play from the Guittard tapes on this podcast, this is really cool. Jim shared this lost nugget with me. It's from a long time ago, actually. It just gives you an idea of Jim's early songwriting and the process and how he works improvising. It features Jim on guitar and his friend Jim Seagroves, who played on the 96-98 album on drums on Jim's album, and Chris Hepworth on vocals and rapping. Chris Hepworth is a friend of Jim's who really is a character, and he likes to improvise and say whatever is on the top of his head, right as it comes. And it's a real funny little track. So let's get to that now.
It's too much bass.
Let's do an improvisation. Did it work?
Let's screw it up.
Let's do an improvisation without any music.
Let's do our own song.
Let's
make up.
Start capping up, and you do whatever you want.
Alright, I'm gonna put some music in right.
Alright, we're gonna sing you a few songs here. We're gonna sing it just ourselves. This is our own song. This is a song we've made. We know we're gonna hit big time with it. We know we're gonna take it to the top 10, and
just sing what I say.
It's called Sing What I Say, and I'm gonna sing what I say, and what I say is what I sing. So listen up.
Well, I'll count it off.
And Mr. Jim here has got a little tune for us.
Okay, man, you ready to sing?
You ready? Hit it.
What are you doing?
Wait up. The guitar's sounding me out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I can turn down.
Oh.
Hello? Yeah, that's better. We're gonna start over for you. One more time. And guitar man, 2, 3, 4. This is me. Jingle. Drumstick. Broken drums. Don't. I can't. Alright, play something different, baby.
Play something 4/4.
Yeah, 4/4.
That was 3/4. 3/4? Wait up. Wait.
Get something with a little tune.
I had that music. I think I'm gonna play it.
Now, is this a new song that we made up ourselves, or is this copied from somebody? Brand new live Chris, Jim, and Jim, and guitar. And C goes from the sea. Live, coming at you live. On Saturday Night Live, it's Chris Epworth live. How you doing? Now, I was born in Texas, Dallas, Texas. I was born in a little house, you know, piece of crap, toys all over the place, you know. Mom, this is to you. No, just kidding. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Hey, no, Mom. No, I hope you don't see this, but no, I've always liked music, and I've always wanted to make my own songs. So this is guitar, Jim, Steve Rose, and Hepworth. That's me. And we're gonna sing. There's people by the snow, but everywhere that Mary went, they thought she was snorting snow.
I guess I understand
Improvisations. Here we go. We're done, man. We're out of here. Later.
All right. Let's hear Ordinary Guy from the Guittard tapes, and then Jim's commentary and lyrics on that.
I'm just an ordinary guy. Why don't you give me a try? Waiting for you to come around. Just come to me now. I'm just an hour away. Just come on down to me. I'm just an hour away. As the sun comes up, as the sun goes down, I can feel you getting closer to me. Just come on down to me now. I'm just an hour away. Get on down here, baby. You can see him waiting right here. don't you give me a try? With a cute little smile and a cute little face. Just come to me now. I'm just an hour away. Just come on down to me. We're waiting for you.
Ordinary Guy. Ordinary Guy I wrote in early 2000 while sitting actually at Stir Crazy Coffee Shop on Melrose Avenue in Hollywood. I'd been waiting there to meet a musical acquaintance, but she didn't show up, and so I was blowing off steam with writing the lyrics. Ordinary Guy was one of my first songs to write lyrics. For 9 months I'd been hanging around Hollywood and nothing was panning out, so I was a bit discouraged. I just wanted a chance, and that was the sentiment in the song. I was humble, I guess. I started a duo with Henry McGuinn called the Ragas shortly at that time. I brought my song Ordinary Guy out as a possible tune that the Ragas could play, but Henry passed on it. He wasn't too enthusiastic about the lyrics. It wasn't the high quality lyrics that we needed. Henry was into songs about the beach and more groovy nature type songs. My song Ordinary Guy was my attempt at being real. The Ragas recorded Ordinary Guy, but as an instrumental. The recording for Ordinary Guy played the Fender Telecaster B-Bender, which actually got stolen, 12-string acoustic, another one that got stolen. Sang the lead and background vocals. My friend Vladimir Maskoff played the electric bass. It was recorded on my 4-track machine by Brian McKay in North Hollywood.
Ordinary guy. I'm just an ordinary guy. Why don't you give me a try? Waiting for you to come around. Just come to me now. I'm just an hour away. Just come on down to me. I'm just an hour away. As the sun comes up, as the sun goes down, I can see you getting closer to me. You know I want you, baby. You know it. Just come on down to me now. I'm just an hour away. Get on down here, man, babe. You can see I'm waiting right here. I'm just an ordinary guy. Why don't you give me a try? With your cute little smile and your cute little face, I'd love to see you now, babe. Just come on down to me now. I'm just an hour away. Just come on down to me. I'll be waiting for you. I'm just an ordinary guy.
So the final song that I'm going to play that comes from the Guittard tapes today is called Tremolo Instrumental. And then Jim will comment on that. And after that, I promise you something very, very special. But we'll get into that after Tremolo Instrumental.
tremolo instrumental. I recorded this one probably in late 2001 or sometime in 2002. It was my attempt at possible shoegaze. I might have been listening to the Brian Jonestown Massacre Methadone album. I used the tremolo pedal, not much else to say about it, it's cool. The recording I played drums and electric guitar. Here's another train for you.
All right, before I let you folks go to enjoy the rest of your weekend, I just wanted to thank Jim Guittard again for being a co-host and providing all the audio commentary and the lyrics from his songs from the Guittard tapes. And I just wanted to remind you folks again that there'll be a Guittard Tapes 2 coming out sometime in the near future. And now I want to talk about something very serious. Jim has just handed me an unmarked tape. A tape so controversial he wasn't sure if he should even give it to me today to air. A tape the establishment did not want you to hear. Well, you're going to hear it today on the Muffin Junkee. So we're going to end with that, with this lost interview with Jim Guittard.
Your music, Jim, sort of flies in the face. It's sort of an affront to the neoclassical, economic, corporate structured music that we often hear on the radio today. As such, do you consider yourself a dangerous individual?
Completely dangerous. I mean, I'm plotting to take over the world, as you know it. But seriously, I think that art can be dangerous. It can change people's hearts. I've been thinking that instead of dropping bombs and things on Afghanistan, Iraq, why not drop record albums?
Where do you see yourself, say, 5 years from now, Jim? You know, your 5-year plan. Not that you're chairman now. Of course, I'm not saying that. But, you know what I mean, your overall effect. You know, you're quite powerful in terms of being a sort of underground role model for the youngsters out there, for the boys and girls that really are into your music and get your message, your counterculture message.
That's hard to answer. I mean, you're starting to sound like the old generation asking, but I'd hope to be doing music, not giving up on that, doing something, always being creative. As far as, I mean, really, how can you know? I mean, it's like you think you can predict what you'll be doing in 5 years. Like one day you can run in front of a bus and that's it. So, I mean, I'd hope I'd still be brushing my teeth and doing all those kind of things. But, you know, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a funny question. What will you be doing in, let's say, 20 years?
I wonder, Jim. And if you could settle the matter now, if you care to comment, there's been much innuendo and rumor that the Guittard tapes are coded messages that are, you know, anti-globalist and in nature anti-establishment. Would you care to comment or set the record straight on that, Jim?
Sure. Are you looking that deeply into the Guittard tapes? I mean, wow. That's interesting. I hope you can give me some examples.
Might I be frank with you now, Jim, and just ask, do you see yourself as an outsider, much like The Outsider by Colin Wilson, the famous novel from many years ago? And is that the reason that you've grown your hair long, to rebel against the conformity and to set yourself and your music apart from the mainstream?
You can be Frank, I'll be Jim. You make it sound like I'm so intentional about everything I do, and really, I just do what I feel, and I haven't really intended to do any of those rebelling things or whatever you talk about. As far as outsider, I'm not outside right now. I'm actually inside my cozy apartment, but I can deal with the establishment people working corporate jobs, which I've done in the past, or I can do jobs such as mowing lawns, cleaning, or you know, whatever, that kind of thing. So I'm a chameleon, I guess, when it comes to that sort of thing. I can wear a suit, slicking back my hair, or blue jeans and loafers.
Your music is obviously very spiritual. It has Middle Eastern time sounds to it, like the sitar. Equally, though, it could be said that you have a Western sound with the guitar and conventional, almost country rock at times as well. So it would be fair to say, would you agree with this statement, Jim, that Gandhi or Krishna or Vishnu could dance to the music as well as Jesus, if he were here today as well? Would you comment on that, Jim?
That's an interesting question. I could see Jesus boogieing down on my song Once Around the Moon. Krishna, I think he would probably dig Halava. And Vishnu, probably he would like, I don't really know much about him, but maybe he would probably like Listen to My Voice. Gandhi, I think he's a country rock guy, so probably my early versions of Confusion Lies, Guns and Drugs. I mean, he was dealing with government oppression and so forth, so I think that he would really get some inspiration from that song.
Richard Milhouse Nixon, Jim. The first thing that comes to your mind, just off the top of your head, what could you say about Mr. Nixon?
I think Mr. Nixon was a guy that got in over his head. The cancer was growing all around him. He was trying to save his position, collapsing. He could not do it, and he was humble enough to resign, is my thought. So I don't think he's a terrible guy. I mean, actually, I think he's kind of interesting with all his recordings, and that was kind of the whole basis of this Guittard tapes thing. I was trying to document things through songs and just whatever's going on in my life. And so maybe Nixon, he was a Guittard tapes fan. You never know.
Jim, do you think that George Orwell was correct in the fact that we are living in the age of Big Brother and the global elite are controlling us through surveillance?
Obviously, there's cameras everywhere on the streets, and I did get an email from David Rockefeller on. He wanted me to leave out some songs on the Guittard tapes, and I just simply refused. He's not going to push me around on what songs I include and not include. I mean, he was trying to push me into advocating world government dictatorship, and I'm not going to do that. As far as Big Brother, it's more like Big Sis. I mean, if you listen to Alex Jones and Big Sis.
On one of your earlier album covers, I think it was Jim Guittard and Friends, the cover album. You had a mustache, Jim. And I just have to wonder, you shaved that off. Was that part of a new image, a new beginning? Did that go with the counterculture thing? You're shedding the old ways, starting anew. And is this something, or was it an effort too, as well, with female fans? Although I know you're married, and coincidentally, did you have a mustache when you met your wife? Or did you shave it off and she liked that better? These are just sort of things that I thought I had to ask.
You're getting good at these questions, guy. Yeah, I shaved off the mustache because of pressure from the powers to be. They wanted me to be more conformist, and so that's why I did it. Now I'm an outstanding citizen. Never have scruffy hair, beard, or anything, so I've just totally changed. No need to have scruffy mustaches anymore. As far as my wife goes, no, I didn't have a mustache.
Jim, I'm wondering if you'd be so kind now to comment on technology and gadgets.
Technology is great these days. It definitely helps the independent artists to get their stuff out there. Can't complain in that way. As far as other gadgets and technology in society goes, I think it does invade your privacy at times, and that's something to be guarded against. But I'm very happy about the technology as far as music goes.